No, did he already tell you? Yeah. Okay. Let's look for it. You're lost.
This is 17-year-old Elizabeth Baldonado. A few hours ago, her boyfriend was found mysteriously shot dead in a back alley.
She's not. Yeah, she wants to hurt the person that did it.
Tragically, Elizabeth is also pregnant with their child. Her mother, Ortiz Chavez, is trying to comfort her daughter. What Elizabeth doesn't know yet is that her mother is hiding a dark secret that will ruin the family's life.
Your mom's car is on video leaving the homicide.
You seriously think that they did it?
Yes.
My mom loved that child.
As detectives work the case, more and more clues start pointing towards Elizabeth's family. And as she learns that her own family are now suspected killers, all she can do is deny the accusations, while her mother sacrifices her own children to hide what she's done.
All right, then. Do you want to talk?
It's a quiet Friday morning in downtown Albuquerque. A 16-year-old boy walks alone through a back alley on his way to work, unaware that a killer is waiting for him inside one of the parked cars. Then, a single gunshot rings out, striking the teenager in the head and killing him instantly, while the shooter disappears from the scene. Within minutes, multiple 911 calls start flooding in reporting the gunfire. Patrol units quickly respond to the area, and as officers turn down the alley, they're met with a grim scene. Lying on the pavement is a teenage boy, motionless, with blood pooling beneath his head. The victim shows no signs of life and appears to have a gunshot wound visible just above his temple. Whatever happened in this alley happened fast, and whoever pulled the trigger is already gone. Officers call it in and begin securing the perimeter. With no weapon in sight and no ID on the body, they now need to figure out who he is and why he ended up here. Backup units soon arrive and start canvassing the area, looking for anyone who might have heard or seen what happened. And before long, 2 witnesses come forward, claiming they saw something strange right after the gunshot.
Did you hear it? I didn't hear anything, but I saw people running. One of them is a light-skinned male. He turns around, runs back to the alley, and takes off down the street.
I just saw strange cars that aren't usually here. I've just been circling and I noticed some weird activity, and I just had this gut-wrenching feeling that someone was about to get shot because there were just weird people back here. And I saw this kid, this guy right here who shot, he was over here talking to some girl. And last minute I saw him there, I turned the corner and I heard a gunshot when I was on this side of the road. So then I came back over here and the car was down.
You heard one shot?
Just one.
According to witnesses, a single gunshot was fired, followed by a group of teenagers scrambling in every direction. One of them was seen jumping into a car with a girl before speeding away. The information is vague, but it gives police a starting point. Detectives soon arrive at the scene and launch a formal homicide investigation. While examining the body, they notice something odd about the victim. He's still wearing an apron, the kind used by restaurant staff, suggesting he might have worked nearby. That small detail sends them straight across the street to the only restaurant in sight, Lindy's Diner. Inside, the owners immediately recognize the victim. His name is Josue J. Ruiz, 16 years old, a dishwasher who'd only started a few weeks earlier. They tell police Jay's grandfather is a regular customer, and officers are able to call him and ask him to come down to the scene. When Jay's grandfather arrives, detectives have to break the tragic news to him. But what he tells them about Jay's life will start to hint at darker things he may have been involved in.
So I don't know if anybody's told you this, and I was trying to see if you were obviously Josue. Is that how you say it? Yeah. Josue's passed on. So that's what we're here for. Is we're here to try to figure out what happened and try to do the best we can by Josue. He's your grandson, is that correct? Okay.
He was involved with something, but I could never get the truth from him. I could never get the truth. There's one friend that he was involved with that, you know, I really didn't approve of. I was just getting ready to move him out, you know, to take him somewhere else, you know, so he can have a job or whatever.
Right.
Oh my God.
Although the news clearly breaks him, he takes it with quiet strength, telling detectives that his grandson had been involved in something lately that might be what got him killed. And as the conversation continues, he mentions one more heartbreaking detail. Jay wasn't just a teenager with secrets. He was about to become a father.
He has his girlfriend over there in my apartment. And,
His
she's
girlfriend's
pregnant.
at your apartment right now?
Yeah, he called me this morning and told me, hey, you're going to be a great grandpa, is what he told me. So,
No kidding. Who's his girlfriend?
Elizabeth, I think it's Maldonado.
She's at your apartment
Right now, yeah.
The revelation only adds to the tragedy. Jay's girlfriend, 17-year-old Elizabeth Maldonado, is pregnant with his child and has no idea that he's gone. Investigators plan to speak with her later, but for now they allow Jay's grandfather to leave the scene and deliver the news himself, telling her that detectives will be in touch soon. If anyone can explain what Jay had been caught up in, it's her. About an hour later, the homicide case is officially assigned to Detective Anna Bruciaga as the lead investigator. After reviewing the initial reports and witness statements, she begins canvassing the area for any surveillance footage that might reveal what happened. It doesn't take long before officers locate a camera mounted outside a nearby school, angled directly towards the alley where the shooting took place. When they sit down to review the footage, they finally get their first visual clue of Jay's killers.
So these are all the cameras that are running in two systems, the digital and the analog. The analog sucks, so just a fair warning.
Perfect.
This faces the alleyway. Once the shot happens, the people loading the vehicle will react. So it's the individual box of the vehicle somewhere right here.
Yeah, so he just walked to the passenger side.
And they react.
It almost looks like a Toyota.
On screen, a gold Toyota sedan can be seen racing away seconds after the gunshot. And through the tinted glass, detectives can barely make out what appears to be two figures inside the vehicle, meaning there are at least two suspects on the loose. A couple of hours later, detectives arrive at the apartment where Jay's girlfriend, Elizabeth, is staying. They believe she might help them understand what Jay had been caught up in, but they have no idea that they'll soon come face to face with one of Jay's killers, someone far closer to him than anyone imagined.
Do you mind if we come in here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, sorry to your loss. I know that obviously he was possibly having some issues with some people, right? Can you tell me about that?
He doesn't really tell me much about that stuff.
So let's start with today. What'd you guys do today?
He took a shower at like 8 o'clock. He was getting ready to go to work at 10. I was making appointments today because we found out that I'm pregnant. Well, he was texting me still until at least around 12 o'clock. And then he stopped answering me for a few hours.
The timeline Elizabeth provides lines up with the shooting. Around 11:20 a.m. is when Jay stopped responding to her messages, the same time investigators believe he was killed. Beyond that, Elizabeth doesn't offer much, saying Jay often kept to himself and never told her what he was doing. To detectives, it sounds like Jay might have gotten himself involved in something he didn't want anyone else to know about. Maybe a deal that went wrong or a confrontation that escalated. Whatever it was, it's likely what got him killed. Or at least, that's what it seems at first. Because Elizabeth isn't telling the full story. Not yet. And the next thing she remembers won't just give detectives a new lead. It'll start turning suspicion towards Elizabeth and her own family.
A little bit from what I gathered from Grandpa is that he feels that he was up to no good lately. Can you tell me about that?
This morning, him and my brother were supposed to box it out because this has nothing to do with this at all. My brother and him just don't get along. They bump heads very much. But my brother would never do this. He knows how I feel about Jay.
And which brother? My younger brother? Your younger brother? What's his name?
Angelo.
Tell me a little bit about why they were gonna box it out.
Me and Jay, we were arguing about something. I don't remember what. But we started getting really loud, and my brother got tired of it, so he came in and told him to stop yelling at me, and then they just started fighting.
Physically fighting?
No.
So did they text each other that they were gonna fight?
No. Jay called me and told my mom that he wanted to box it out with my brother.
According to Elizabeth, her brother Angelo was supposed to box it out with her boyfriend Jay that morning, a teenage fight meant to settle whatever tension had been building between them. Although the fight never happened and Elizabeth insists it has nothing to do with the homicide, it suggests the conflict could have been personal. Investigators will now have to follow up on this and look into Angelo's involvement before ruling him out. But before the conversation can continue any further with Elizabeth, Jay's family arrives at the apartment. Word of the shooting has already reached them, but they still haven't received an official confirmation from police. Detective Anna Bruciaga has no choice but to break the tragic news to Jay's mother, a moment that no amount of experience could ever prepare anyone for.
Can you tell us what's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, I'm sorry for your loss. Okay. Right now, I don't have much other than officers were dispatched to the alleyway in reference to who said being. Okay.
What happened?
Yeah, that's why so we just got called out. That's why I'm trying to interview as many people as I can. That's why I headed here first, and then I was headed your way because I do have some questions. But as of right now, I don't. Okay. I really. Thank you. I'm just here.
With the devastating news delivered, Detective Anna Bruciaga tries to gather any insight from Jay's family, but they don't seem to have any. Even his mother can't imagine who would want to hurt him, leaving detectives with no clear leads or motives to work with. As investigators collect Jay's phone and prepare to leave, another woman walks into the apartment, Ortiz Chavez, looking to comfort her daughter. Detective Bruciaga sits down with her to collect some basic information. A casual conversation at first, until Chavez mentions a small detail that catches the detective's attention and quietly puts her on the radar.
What type of car do you drive?
I drive a
Toyota. Toyota?
Yeah, like a gold. Yeah, it's a gold car. Stole that on me, I just looked there, whatever.
And you said you just purchased it?
Yeah.
Do you have a plate on it?
Yeah. No, I don't. They took our tickets off. The chip tag. Yeah, they took it off the car.
Where you said it's.
Oh, yeah. So earlier this morning, it broke down on her, and then she just left it there.
As Chavez describes her vehicle, Detective Bruciaga immediately recognizes the description. A gold Toyota sedan, similar to the one caught on surveillance footage speeding away just seconds after the shooting. The connection is hard to ignore. Bruciaga notes the details, but decides it's too early to jump to conclusions. Wanting to verify it as quickly as possible, she wraps up the initial interview with the family and heads out with officers to the spot where Chavez abandoned her car that morning. When they arrive, the car is nowhere to be found, and Bruciaga starts suspecting Chavez might be hiding something. About 40 minutes later, investigators return to the apartment to interview Chavez privately. And that's when things start to get interesting. By now, it's only been a few hours since Jay was killed, and most detectives would still be collecting statements. But Bruciaga's instincts tell her there's no time to waste. So she sits down with Chavez and makes a bold accusation.
So here's the thing, okay? So I believe your car was used in today's homicide. Okay?
You're lying to me.
No, I am not.
So you stole my car.
That's why I'm talking to you. Okay, so if you don't tell me who had your car,
I don't know.
It's your car.
I left my car at the side of the road.
Okay.
I didn't lend my car to nobody.
Detective Bruciaga is quick to connect the dots, suspecting that it's Chavez's car that was speeding away. But Chavez claims she abandoned it and it must have been stolen. However, the detective is about to take things one step further, because if Chavez's car was used in the murder, the next logical question is who was behind the wheel? And with what Elizabeth revealed about the planned fight that morning, there's only one name that fits: Chavez's son, Angelo.
So what I'm getting at is that what are the odds that your son and his friends have a problem with Jay, and Jay is now dead, and people are telling me it's your car on scene?
But my son said he wouldn't, and neither would Javon. And I was with them today.
Okay. So you were with them all day?
Yes. My son had an interview at 9 o'clock, and we were over at the Whataburger over there, Cottonwood or whatever.
You drop him off?
No, I didn't leave the Whataburger.
Okay, so you waited for him to be done?
Yes, and we went back together to my house.
Okay, then you guys go back to the house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he stayed there, and I left with myself, the car, to go see Elizabeth.
Chavez's morning timeline only reinforces the detective's suspicions. If she really abandoned her car around 10:30 that morning and it suddenly vanished, then there's a very high chance it's the same gold Toyota caught on CCTV later when Jay was shot. Witnesses also reported seeing a young male and female inside the car. And with Chavez having both a teenage son, Angelo, and a daughter, Elizabeth, things are starting to look very suspicious for her family. For now, though, all of this remains as just early suspicion. After all, detectives know Jay had been hiding things. He was secretive and clearly mixed up in something he wasn't telling anyone about. But there's something eerily strange about Chavez's demeanor that Detective Bruciaga can't ignore. Even after being told her son might be involved in a homicide, she stays quiet, almost detached. Not the kind of reaction you'd expect from a mother facing that sort of accusation. And the longer the conversation goes, the more convinced Bruciaga becomes that the mother sitting in front of her knows more than she's letting on. So the detective decides to take an even bigger risk this time and make an accusation that most investigators would hesitate to ask this early on.
So, did you shoot Jay?
No, I didn't. No. He's a kid. He's a baby.
I know, but somebody did.
No.
But I also feel like you know more than you're telling me.
But I don't.
Because again, I'm telling you, based on your demeanor, I think you know what happened. And I know it's your car. And I am going to confirm it on video surveillance.
I hope you do, because I'm lost right now.
Again, Chavez's reaction isn't what Detective Bruciaga expects at all. Instead of breaking down or reacting defensively, she simply denies it with a sorrowful face. This response leaves Bruciaga torn between two possibilities. Either Chavez is innocent but in complete shock, struggling to process what's happening, or she's carefully keeping her composure to hide a guilty conscience and protect her children. Either way, she sticks to her story, and with nothing concrete so far, the interview comes to an end. But even without proof, Bruciaga can't shake the feeling that her instincts are right, that one of Jay's killers is sitting in this very apartment. With her doubts only growing, Bruciaga decides to move quickly and verify Chavez's version of events with the one person who can either confirm or contradict it, her son, Angelo. Within an hour, investigators head straight to Angelo's workplace to talk to him in person. Whatever he tells detectives will either clear his family or make things even worse for them.
So there was a shooting downtown today, and somebody died. So I know that you knew him. I think he was actually somebody that you knew because he was dating your sister.
Talking about Jay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is he alive?
No, he's not. He's dead. So I just wanted to find out from you just a little bit.
Can you tell his grandpa? You talk to his grandpa, right?
Yeah.
Please tell his grandpa sister.
Okay, yeah, for sure. So explain to me what this whole, like, your mom and your sister explained, like, this beef between you and Jay. So explain that.
We had a problem with me and my sister. Then, like I said, we had a dispute after that with the father. And then we didn't really, like, talk after that. We both went our separate ways.
Yeah.
So your sister tells your mom tells you that Jay wants to fight. So when did you guys plan to meet?
I didn't plan nothing. He assumed. And I was just like, we're good. We had all this, we had all this shit and stuff. Like, we're good. He said he wanted to do 8 o'clock.
Today?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she, you mean your mom said?
That's what he told me. That's what Jay told me. Like, that's what Jay told to tell my sister to tell me. But so on and so forth. This is like I told her. Like,
That you're supposed to meet. Where were you guys supposed to meet?
he just said he wanted to fight me. 8 o'clock in the morning, so I assumed we had my door.
Angelo confirms most of what detectives have already heard from his sister and mother, saying Jay wanted to box it out that morning, but the fight never happened. Beyond that, there isn't much new information, and his version of events lines up neatly with his mother's timeline. For now, their stories seem consistent. But until those details can be verified, Detective Bruciaga knows she has to take everything they've said at face value. However, before investigators can dig deeper, Angelo's mother suddenly walks in, and this time, she's far less cooperative.
He's not even a rape, and you're not even be talking to him. He's home. But he's not in trouble,
So he doesn't have to be 18 for us to talk to him.
I'm gonna stay with him. I'm gonna send him for her.
I mean, it's up to him. If he doesn't want you here, he doesn't have to have you here.
Huh? Yeah, my sister and the bars here. I had to have him go pick up.
Talk to my sister.
So there is one thing that we are going to need, just like we talked with your sister, we didn't get your phone. So we're going to secure it. We're going to do a warrant.
I need it. I don't have a phone.
But your daughter's
an investigation like I explained to you earlier, Elizabeth. I'm taking your phone. You're not getting it back until I'm done with it. But as soon as I'm done with it, I will give it back to you.
Do you want me to take you to go find where your car was left? Because we've been all over there and we can't find it anywhere.
Well, I'm gonna go shortly, but I want to make sure that my kids and my family get home. And right now, my biggest concern is I just want to go home.
What's your biggest concern?
I want to go home.
No, you absolutely can go home.
Despite investigators' attempts to convince her otherwise, Chavez insists on taking Angelo home. Even if her intentions are innocent, this sudden change in behavior doesn't help their case at all. If anything, it makes it look like an attempt to shield her son from further questioning. With the interview shut down, officers seize the family's phones, hoping digital evidence might reveal what they're not saying out loud. Back at the police station, detectives spend the next couple of weeks combing through statements, surveillance footage, and phone data. What they find begins to reshape the entire case. Among the first discoveries are text messages showing that Chavez was directly involved in arranging the so-called boxing match between her son Angelo and her daughter's boyfriend Jay. In one exchange, Elizabeth texts Jay saying that Mom says they'll be there at 8. Other messages suggest there may have been a gun involved. In one text, Elizabeth writes, "I'll be there too because I don't want anything like they pull a gun out." Investigators also uncover signs that Jay and Elizabeth's relationship was deteriorating, with both of them talking about breaking up. In one message, Jay tells her directly, "I'll talk to you when it comes to the baby, but more." But even more alarming were the contradictions in the family's statements. Elizabeth told detectives her boyfriend didn't leave the house until 10 that morning. Yet, Jay's phone shows him texting others about Angelo not showing up as early as 8 o'clock. In one of those messages, Jay texts a friend. They didn't show. 8 o'clock, the mom said, and it's 9. Man, her family's a bunch of assholes, I swear. Additionally, detectives uncover another name that hadn't come up before. Elizabeth's older brother, Gilbert. In his messages, Gilbert expresses anger towards Jay and even makes promises of retaliation. By the end of the review, Detective Bruciaga becomes convinced that the entire family might be involved in planning what happened that day. Now, it's no longer a question of what happened, but who did it and exactly why. In the days following Jay's murder, investigators were at a standstill. Because Angelo and Elizabeth are still minors, their mother refuses to let them speak with police, effectively blocking detectives from getting any answers directly from them. But 20 days after the shooting, that changes. Jay's girlfriend, Elizabeth Baldonado, turns 18 years old, and her mother can no longer stop her from talking. Detective Bruciaga seizes the opportunity and convinces her to come down to the station to see the new evidence they've uncovered, carefully leaving out that it's evidence pointing towards her own family. The goal is simple: find out who was directly involved in Jay's killing, or better yet, get a confession. But before we get to that, do you struggle with deciding what to cook every day, or just end up ordering food every time? HelloFresh might be the best option for you. It saves you both time and money on your daily meals. They're America's #1 meal kit, making home cooking easier with chef-crafted recipes and fresh ingredients delivered straight to your door. But this fall, they're serving up even more to love. HelloFresh has doubled its menu, now offering over 100 options each week. Now you can get steak and seafood recipes delivered every week for no extra cost. And there are 3 times the seafood options as before. The best way to cook just got better. Go to HelloFresh.com/DrInsanity10FM to get 10 free meals and a free breakfast for life. 1 per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only, varies by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/DrInsanity10FM to get 10 free meals and free breakfast for life. With that said, let's get back to Elizabeth's interrogation. This time, detectives plan to double down on the accusations instead of playing nice. But this will soon backfire, because unlike her mother, Elizabeth's reaction will be very different.
Now that some time has passed and you've had time to think about it, Elizabeth, I want to hear what happened. Because I think you know more than you told me that day.
I don't know anything. I really don't. Why would you guys assume that? Why would I know anything new about that?
Because I have your phones and I've looked through your phones. And so I do believe you know more.
What would I know more about? About who killed him? About who did it? No, I don't know. I really don't know who did it. If I knew who did it, I would have told you already.
So I know that you and him were having some problems and he broke up with you and you wanted to get back with him and he told you no. I will talk to you when it comes to the baby, but that is it. And he wanted nothing to do with you.
So you're saying that I had someone do something to him? Are you
It's a question.
serious?
Okay, here's the thing, okay?
I
You have to
loved
realize I'm
him more than
investigating.
anything in the world. I would never do anything like that. I would never have anyone do anything like that because I loved him more than my whole life.
And actually, I do know that because you guys texted, I love you so much. Tons. So I do know that, okay? But you have to understand, Elizabeth, I'm investigating his homicide. Somebody killed him, okay? Have you ever watched homicide shows? Yeah? Okay, so you have to know that if I see anything like that on the phone, you have to know that I have to ask you these questions. Because at this point, I have gone through your phone, I have gone through your brother's phone, I have gone through Josue's phone, I have gone through other things, and I have to ask these questions because I have a feeling you know more than you're telling me.
I don't! I really don't! I don't know anything more than I'm telling you.
As planned, there is no small talk or warm-up. Right away, Detective Bruciaga tells Elizabeth she's not being fully honest. The approach is blunt, and it's clearly hitting a nerve as Elizabeth quickly grows defensive. But Bruciaga isn't backing off just yet. She's about to bet everything on her next move, laying out every piece of evidence she has against the family in hopes of eliciting an admission from Elizabeth.
Okay, so you brought up that your brother Gilbert had mentioned and said that he was going to send someone up there to take care of
But he didn't. Because my brother knows that if he were to do anything, I would never speak to him again or at all. I would have him part of my life at all.
So Gilbert didn't do it.
Why would my brother do it? My brother literally knows how I feel about him.
So I'm pretty sure you've been in the household and have heard conversations. Correct?
Heard what?
Anything. Anything that talked about.
They do not talk about anything.
Okay, so where is your mom's car?
I don't know. You're seriously assuming that one of my family members did it? Because the car is missing. She literally filed a report that her car was missing that night.
Okay, so you say you love Josue, right? And he's the love of your life. So why are you covering for your mom and your brother?
I'm not covering for anybody. Are you fucking serious? You seriously think that they did it?
Yes.
My mom loved that child too.
Okay, maybe not your mom, but what if what if I told you that your mom's car is on video leaving the homicide? What if I told you that?
You know how many Toyota Camrys that are gold live in the city?
But what are the odds that your brother and Josue were supposed to meet
My
up?
brother was at home. My brother was at home with his girlfriend. They were literally sleeping until he had to go to work.
It's clear that Elizabeth has reached her breaking point. Every accusation towards her family is pushing her closer to the edge. Most investigators would pull back here, take a break, try to de-escalate, but not Detective Bruciaga. Instead, she decides to take a bigger risk, one that's bold but calculated. Rather than fighting Elizabeth's denials, she will lean into them, even agreeing that she's only trying to protect her family. In doing so, Bruciaga wants to make Elizabeth feel safe enough to talk and reveal what she's really hiding. It's a delicate psychological play, one that could end the interview entirely or solve the case right here and now.
But I'm gonna tell you right now that your mom said she drove Angelo to his interview. Guess what? Angelo said he borrowed the car from your mom and he drove himself to the interview. So obviously, somebody's lying. And I kind of understand that you don't want to see.
No, you don't. They don't. They did not do it.
Because
you are literally looking in the wrong place. You're just trying to blame somebody just so that you can get someone for the crime. I know they didn't do it because, well, I don't know for sure, but I know they wouldn't have done something like that. They know how much that would crush me, and literally they have seen how much I have died these past 2 weeks.
Okay, and I'm not telling you if I find out your brother. I'm telling you when I gather up all my evidence and I arrest your brother, I hope that you didn't know more.
You guys can think however you like. My family did not do it.
Elizabeth, you can't get out without us letting you out, babe.
Elizabeth, I think you're ready to tell me more than you're telling me, okay? You have to realize, Elizabeth, that somebody took your baby's dad's life, and now that baby is not gonna have a father. And as much as you love your family, they still took your baby's dad away. Now that baby's not gonna have a dad.
I don't think I know that. That's literally all I think about every second.
Can we finish talking in the conference room? Just because I can't hear, actually.
Yeah, we can't be sitting in the hallway, Elizabeth. I'm sorry.
This is our victim side, so.
Elizabeth's finally had enough. The weight of the questioning breaks her down and she's emotionally exhausted. Detectives try to take advantage of the moment, hoping her vulnerability will make her open up, but Elizabeth doesn't budge. Through tears, she keeps insisting her family is innocent. With nothing useful coming from Elizabeth, the interview ends. She's escorted out of the building, and investigators are back to square one. Still, Detective Bruciaga can't shake her suspicions. She knows this family is hiding something. What she hasn't figured out yet is that she's been focusing on the wrong suspects all along. Over the next couple of months, the case remains wide open. Investigators keep digging, and what they find is even more alarming. First, they learn that Chavez never followed through with her stolen vehicle report from the day of the murder. Then, while combing through phone data, detectives uncover explicit threats from Elizabeth's older brother, Gilbert, directed at Jay. In one message, Gilbert writes he's gonna catch one, clearly hinting at plans for violence. In another text, he says, "Delete our messages and don't say anything about me saying I was gonna shoot him. It wasn't me for real. I ain't trying to deal with cops." Based on these details, investigators start to speculate that Gilbert may have taken things further, possibly supplying a gun or even using it himself to shoot Jay. Chavez, realizing what her sons had done, may have then disposed of the car to cover their tracks and build an alibi for the family. The new findings push Gilbert to the top of the suspect list, right beside his brother Angelo. But as compelling as the theory sounds, it's still just that. A theory. The case remains strong on suspicion, but weak on proof, and Detective Bruciaga desperately needs anything concrete from the Baldonado family. So, on May 19th, 76 days after Jay's murder, Bruciaga and a team of officers head to the family's house determined to confront them face to face and see if she can pressure someone into cracking. When the investigators arrive at the door, no one expects how quickly things will get heated.
Oh, hi Gilbert, how are you?
Hi.
Can I actually talk to you, Gilbert? You know what it's about because, I've already done some research. I'm not going to talk to you right here in the door. Do you want to come talk to me over here, Elizabeth? How are you? Good? Okay. Is your mom here?
She's showering.
You might want to go tell your mom that I would like to talk to her again. I'm going to talk to Gilbert if he's willing to speak with me. And Gilbert, again, I don't want to talk to you right here in front of the door. Do you mind coming even over here?
Yes.
So, tell me what you know.
Like I said, I just moved in here.
Okay, so I'm not going to play games with you, okay? I know you threatened to take care of Josue.
Yeah, but I didn't do anything.
Okay.
I wasn't even up here. I couldn't even...
So you do know why I'm here and why I'm talking to you now. You want to discuss, or do you want me to just take it at face value? I already saw the Facebook, so...
I didn't...
Huh?
So you can do whatever. I didn't do shit, but...
Okay, so...
I'm innocent.
Again, in your Facebook, you do disclose and say you're going to send somebody to take care of him.
Yeah, but... Did I send
Okay, so... Because he died.
I didn't send nobody.
Do I need to be any clearer? He died.
Yeah, but I didn't send nobody. Mom, ain't nobody want to do it. They're all scared.
Can I see your phone? Can I see your phone? Thank you. It's a T-Mobile. Okay, I'm going to take it. I'm going to do a warrant on it, okay?
Yeah, take my phone.
Yes. Again, you have to realize that I'm investigating, okay, a homicide in which you threatened to kill my victim.
So you're going to take my phone?
Yes. I'm going to take your phone. I'm going to do a warrant on it. If for any reason...
Just don't look at the pictures, you know what I'm saying, unless you want to see something, but it's a whole lot of something.
Okay. Well, I won't look at pictures, but I am interested in who you've been talking to, text messages, and so on, so I am going to do a warrant on it, okay?
With no luck getting anything useful from Gilbert, Detective